What is a fact that people just straight up can't accept? That bad things can happen to you for no reason. Will, at some point in your life something bad will happen to you no matter what. / finger guns / already happened. Loser. People are unreliable narrators. I'm not often there, but I always think of this when I see posts on Am I the Asshole, like if they say something like I calmly explained to them that. Or whenever they say what the other party said, I try to remember that they are advocating for themselves, even if they are trying to be fair. I condescendingly talked down to them and implied they were an idiot, and they start acting like I'm the asshole. Learn how to say I don't know. I don't have to know the answer to everything. Conversely, learn to accept I don't know as an answer. I actually have more respect for bosses or supervisors who say I don't know. I'll look into it and get back to you when asked a question they don't. If they actually follow through. Nobody needs to know everything. Not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. Like Dolly Parton said, you might be the ripest, juiciest peach out there, but there's still going to be people who just don't like peaches. Or something to that effect. Any person who doesn't like Dolly Parton's juicy peach is someone you don't need in your life. You pretty much need like a quarter of the laundry detergent you're using. 40 loads my ass lol. Username checks out. Being nice to someone won't guarantee the same in return. Truth. Also, at least one person you know irrationally dislikes you. The general you. Not you specifically. Good Redditor. Close bracket. No, him specifically. Let's not mince words here. The problem may actually be you. I refuse to accept this fact on the basis of no evidence, as I have no friends to ask. For some inexplicable reason they stopped contacting me a few years ago. You might be in my boat or my coworkers hate me just because I'm really mean to them. I just don't get it. Just because you can do something doesn't mean it's a good idea. Just because you are allowed to do something doesn't mean it's a good idea. Just because you are entitled to do something doesn't mean it's a good idea. Wait, so you're telling me that just because I can stick my dick in a jar of peanut butter and let my dog lick it off, it isn't a good idea? An opinion is different to a fact. And just because you really believe something still doesn't make it true. I argued with my cousin about this until he ended up blocking me on Facebook. He just couldn't grasp the concept of objective vs subjective. Some things in life are just objectively true and your belief just doesn't matter. Using your phone while driving is a bad idea. It wasn't until I moved jobs to one in the center of the city that this really struck me. People can't even walk slowly and pay attention while on the phone. The idea that these same people would try to drive and use a phone at the same time is terrifying. Recently cycling to work, a guy was standing on the path talking on his phone looking right at me as I approached for maybe 30 seconds. Just I passed him at 25 km/h. He stepped across right in front of me. I had to swerve out into car traffic to miss him. People can't even stand safely while talking on their phone. Just because something isn't impacting your life doesn't mean it isn't impacting someone else. Everyone is from a different background, and everyone experiences life differently, yeah. But to realize that, you have to step out of your ego and think about someone else, which most people won't do. Some people just can't empathize with others unless they're similar to themselves. Nice people are not exclusively one race, religion, or political affiliation. Same for assholes. Never understood how people can accept we all bleed red and take a shit. But politeness is only for some people. Imation and my boyfriend is white, and he was very surprised when I told him about the racist jokes my teenage nephew made about black people. It seriously never occurred to him that a minority can also be racist and that being poor and Asian, or any other color, doesn't equal enlightenment or depth of character. I was at a bus terminal in a shifty area of town, and I had two black guys make racist and idiotic comments as I was walking past. Look at this SPC and his blah blah. It's whatever and I didn't care much, but the comment that got me was comments about me having a bag and living out it or some stupid shit. We're at a ducking bus terminal. It'd be odd for me not to have a bag. Also I'm dressed fairly well, have a ticket for the bus and a phone on me. I don't know about you, but the chances I'm homeless are super ducking low. If you hang out wHUT you smell like it. This reminds me of a funny story. I was hanging out with my friend, and he was lecturing me about how shit attracts more shit, and that shitty people will just find other shitty people to hang out with. Literally less than 30 seconds later he steps in a huge pile of dog shit and I say, well, looks like you were right. Shit does attract shit. My family has a saying, don't step over shit. Kick it out of the way. You may smell bad for a while, but you'll never have to worry about it again. That people having a different opinion than you do may not necessarily mean that they are bad people. A huge problem I see is that people completely fail or are very reluctant to entertain ideas that they disagree with for even a second. If more people did that and explored the ideas of others, then there would be a lot more tolerance and respect for differing views. Social media has made it so that everyone gets positive reinforcement from putting down those of differing beliefs, and also a safe space for them to interact with others of similar beliefs. No outlet encourages viewing something that goes against your beliefs. Almost all people are capable of tremendous good and tremendous evil irrespective of their race, culture, political affiliations or religion. I hate this. Generalizing a whole group of people because of one person. It's like saying every fruit is bad because you don't like grapes. Just what are you saying about grapes? Do you think they choose to be grapes? They have every right as a fruit to be treated with respect and equal to all other fruits. Just because they are small and round and like to cluster together doesn't make them a bad fruit. Don't post your xenophobic comments here. That other people are three-dimensional human beings with complex emotions, personalities and beliefs shaped by a lifetime of experiences. Those who think they know better than trained and skilled professionals with first-hand knowledge don't know as much as they think they do and should shut the duck up regarding said things they don't actually know much about. There was a study into this very thing. People usually overestimate their knowledge in topics they actually don't know much about. Then there's also an example of perceived skill. Most drivers think they are better than most others. How can that work if they all think they are the best? It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Not everyone is going to like you, no matter how nice you are. Celebrities are not God. I think most actually believe this. We just hear about the small group that don't more often. Yeah, I guess so. It's just certain fan accounts that really make me wonder, are they being paid for that? You will be wrong more times in your life than you will be right. I have literally never been wrong. I was wrong only once in my life, when I thought I made a mistake. That free speech doesn't equal free from consequence. I've come to realize that people fundamentally don't understand what their right to free speech actually means. Everyone's so quick to cite their freedom of speech, but have no clue that it means you can say what you want, barring the Freedom Act, and the government won't put you in jail. It doesn't mean that you can say what you want, and your neighbor can't call you a moron, if what you're saying does in fact show that you're being a moron. It's like in the last 10 to 15 years people have all of a sudden decided that freedom of speech means freedom of criticism, and it literally makes no sense to me. What's also interesting to me are the people that complain about Facebook censorship and cite freedom of speech. Facebook is a private entity. They can make whatever rules they want. You also are not entitled to a Facebook profile. A person who's an asshole to you can be a saint to someone else. People are complicated. Their motives unclear and multifaceted. Good people do bad things and bad people do good things. Essentially, you should hold off on character judgments until you truly know a person. I'm guilty of this. Super sweet to a lot of people, but also super guarded and cold to others. There's probably no in between. I've recognized this in myself for years and truly struggle with it. I'm working on it. The earth is ducking round. Do you seriously believe in the earth big science is selling a pack of Leis. You're being passive aggressive as duck. I beg your pardon, I'm active aggressive, and I'll prove it to you silly goose. I'll smash your teeth in you absolute darling. Drinking plenty of water is an easy way to improve your health. I instantly took a massive gulp of my water when I saw this. Taking Wednesdays off is better than taking Fridays off. Go on. If you take off Wednesday, every day that week feels like a Thursday or a Friday, which are the best 2 days of the week. You get double the end of week feeling and none of the Monday, Tuesday feeling. If you eat more calories than you burn, you gain weight. Also not accepted by me, who asks myself every time I gain weight what happened, as if I don't know. One time some people asked me about how they could lose some weight. I started to give them some simple tips like not drinking sugared beverages. Then I said, and all the meat you need is the size of the palm of your hand. They screamed, but that's so small. If you want to lose weight you are going to have to make sacrifices. Even if that sacrifice is cutting your meat consumption to less than half of what you normally eat. We're all going to die one day. Immortal until proven otherwise. Scripting is human. That if you buy a $1,000 product for $900, you don't save $100, you spend $900. I wonder if billionaires have to deal with this. No, Jeff, you did not save $1 million on that yacht. You spent $9 million. Apostrophe. $10 million yacht. I thought we were talking about billionaires, not poors. Even family can be toxic. Just because you are related doesn't mean you have to accept their toxic attitude and willingly remain in a toxic environment. Your life and your mental health are important, and you should avoid toxic people who damage that, even if they are family. It doesn't mean don't put up with some people's shit. If they are going through something though, be understanding as well. Nothing is permanent. Death. Am I a joke to you? Did they stutter? Vaccines are safe. They help build up an immunity to diseases. Too many people don't accept this. In their view, they are more qualified than a doctor. One woman, for example, did not get any degree in health, but feels she has to make sure no one gets vaccines. She's from Samoa as well, who recently had a measles outbreak because people didn't have vaccines. There's not one doctor that is an anti-vaxxer. What does that say? I can't believe we are detesting basic science because of one idiot who said something incorrect, who went back on his claims and were found to be false. The guy who said vaccines cause autism is in prison. You're not a customer until you bought something. To add, the customer is not always right. I used to bartend at a place that had a sign reading, "The customer is always right." But not here, because the customer is drunk. I loved it. The bar was also well known for moody bartenders. So it was the kind of place you go to hate yourself. I got yelled at for being too nice multiple times. Miss that place. That they can't always get what they want. But if you try sometimes, you'll find you get what you need. Very much awaited. The person you are talking to on the internet could be right and you might be wrong. wHUT is not real. Yet. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.